What is up, people? It is your boy, TheNegrolorian, with another video. This time, doing something a little bit different. We're talking about one of my favorite things, movies. Cinema. The theatrical experience. Okay? And summer's right around the corner. Biggest time for movies. Summer movie lineup. That's when all the blockbusters come out. That's when the most people go, and the movie theaters make their money. The big budget films, the action blockbusters are here. I'm doing this video because the summer movies lineup hasn't been this stacked, in my opinion, personally, in a few years. So it's exciting. We got some good movies coming out. Well, hopefully some good movies. But yeah, someone that, loves movies, goes to the theater quite often, sees probably hundreds of movies a year. Why not talk about, a little bit of movies on this here YouTube channel? I got my notes right here. I'm going to try to rapid fire through my most anticipated summer movies list. I got some honorable mentions that I'm going to mention. But oh yeah, follow me on Letterboxd too, so you can follow me on my movie watching journey. I love Letterboxd. It's a good app. It's probably the most used app on my phone, and I use it to try to articulate my opinions better. Highly recommend. You guys should look into that. But anyways, summer movies 2025, most anticipated. We're gonna start off with these honorable mentions right here. Let's get it. All right, first honorable mention, we got Freakier Friday, coming out August 8th, starring Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. The trailer looked interesting to me. I kind of took them a while to bring a Freaky Friday sequel back. Classic Disney movie. I don't really like the premise too much. It's like they switch places with her daughter and her grandchild, I believe. But I'm still looking forward to it, man. I've been waiting for a Freaky Friday sequel for years now. We're finally getting one. August 8th, it's coming. I'll be there. All right, the next honorable mention is a movie that's actually coming out this weekend, actually. May 2nd, Thunderbolts. Marvel's been kind of on the decline lately. Hopefully this movie brings it back. Has a Suicide Squad feel to it. How is Sentry gonna be in the movie? He looks kind of crazy. Looking forward to that. Honorable mention, Thunderbolts. Can the MCU finally get a win? I'll be seeing that this Friday, actually. Next up is F1, starring Brad Pitt. And it's from the director of Top Gun Maverick. Do I need to say anything else? I'm just looking for good sound design, a good fast-paced action. F1, June 27th. Final honorable mention is Megan 2.0. The trailer looks absolutely fucking silly. They're taking a more comedic approach, a more lighthearted approach, it seems. Still looking forward to it, seeing what kind of shenanigans they get into. Probably go into this movie absolutely baked out my mind to trip out and enjoy it. Megan 2.0 is coming out June 27th. I'll be there. All right, we got the honorable mentions out the way. Now we got the actual list. My top 10 most anticipated movies of summer 2025. Starting off with number 10. From the world of John Wick, Ballerina, coming out June 6th, directed by Len Wiseman. They're kind of milking the John Wick franchise. I'm not mad at it though. It's some of the best action movies we've gotten in the last few years. The John Wick franchise, didn't expect it to take off as well as it did, but I'm glad it did. Ballerina is a spin-off of those movies, starring Ana de Armas. And John Wick is confirmed to have at least a cameo in the movie. I believe he was in the trailer. Interested to see how this goes. Hope it's ultra violent, lots of fast-paced action, just like the John Wick movies. Looking forward to that. All right, I'm gonna start reading the synopsis courtesy of IMDb for some of these movies, you know. For number 9, next up we got Elio from Pixar. Yes, are you ready to cry? Elio is a space fanatic with an active imagination. Finds himself on a cosmic misadventure where he must form new bonds with alien life forms, navigate a crisis of intergalactic proportions, and somehow discover who he truly is meant to be. I mean, it's Pixar. What more do I have to say? Pixar is known to produce good movies, man. Movies that just tug at the heartstrings. I believe the director for this movie did Coco. I could be wrong. I don't have everything pulled up, but I believe that's the case. I know I'm gonna cry a lot. Animation looks superb as always. Looking forward to Elio. All right, at number 8, we have Friendship, directed by Andrew Day Young. Friendship is releasing on May 9th, 2025. It stars Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd. Good comedic duo right there. Looking forward to that. The synopsis is: a suburban dad falls hard for his charismatic new neighbor. Simple, straight to the point. If you've seen the trailer, you got the idea of that anyway. Once I saw the trailer for this, I knew immediately I had to see this movie. Love Tim Robinson's sketch comedy on Netflix. Absolute hilarious shit. If you haven't watched it, I recommend you do that. We already know what Paul Rudd can do when it comes to comedy. Friendship coming out May 9th. Looking forward to that. Hopefully y'all go see it. All right, next up at number 7, we have Lilo and Stitch, the remake, the live action remake, coming out May 23rd, 2025, directed by Dean Flesherkamp. It's Lilo and Stitch. It's a classic Disney animation. We already know what to expect story-wise, right? But you know, we'll read the synopsis for the live action version anyway. A lonely Hawaiian girl befriends a runaway alien, helping to mend her fragmented family. Ohana. You know what that means? No one gets left behind, and everyone's gonna go see this movie. I'm expecting this movie to make a lot of money. Looking forward to it. Stitch looks cute. They captured the magic of the original animation. I know the last couple live action adaptations from Disney have been kind of ass. We're being completely honest. But I got a good feeling about Lilo and Stitch coming out May 23rd. All right, at number 6 is Jurassic World Rebirth, coming out July 2nd, directed by Gareth Edwards. 5 years post Jurassic World Dominion, an expedition braves isolated equatorial regions to extract DNA from 3 massive prehistoric creatures for a groundbreaking medical breakthrough. And to be honest, the director is one of the main reasons I'm looking forward to this movie. Love Gareth Edwards. You know, he just came off of doing The Creator, which didn't really do too well in the box office. But Gareth Edwards, man, he's a fantastic sci-fi storyteller, in my opinion. Right? A master in like visual effects. He did The Creator for like 80 million. And you couldn't tell seeing that movie, bro. That movie looks amazing. The right director for this movie. I'm expecting the visuals. If it's the same guy who's done the visuals for his last few movies, you know, he also did Rogue One. I can't forget to mention that. This movie should be good. Wasn't too crazy about Dominion, but you know, these Jurassic World movies, you know, they print money. Everyone has grossed well over $1 billion, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same with Rebirth. And number 5, here we go. I Know What You Did Last Summer, 2025. Coming out July 18th, directed by Jennifer Caitlin Robinson. A group of friends is terrorized by a stalker who knows about a gruesome incident from their past. So basically the premise of the original 2 movies. This was a no-brainer for me to go on my top 10 most anticipated summer movies. I love horror. Horror is my favorite genre. I love at least the first I Know What You Did Last Summer movie. It's a pretty good slasher film. I love the slasher genre. And you know, they got the originals coming back with some new stars. Apparently, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer isn't canon. This movie is a direct sequel to the original movie. So I'm interested to see how they're going to do that. So Brandy and Mekhi Phifer is not canon. Wow. Neither is Jack Black. Anyways, I Know What You Did Last Summer, coming out this July 2025. Moving on to number 4. All right, up next, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Coming out May 23rd, directed by the guy who directed the last 2 or 3 Mission Impossible movies, Christopher McQuarrie. Him and Tom Cruise have, formed some kind of partnership on these movies, and it's working, man. The Mission Impossible movies has really taken off. It's starting to become one of my favorite franchises, honestly. This movie was originally supposed to be Dead Reckoning Part 2, but I guess, since Dead Reckoning didn't do too hot at the box office, they decided, all right, let's change the name to Final Reckoning. We'll send it home as the final entry. We'll see, though. We'll see. Tom Cruise, he's back. I'm expecting him to do a lot of sprinting and running. A lot of shots of him just sprinting down a long aisleway or something. But yeah, Ethan Hunt and crew are back. They gotta take out this rogue AI that's somewhere buried in the Atlantic. If you didn't see the last movie, that's a spoiler, I guess. This is the conclusion to that story. It will be coming out May 23rd, and I will be there. All right, number three on my most anticipated summer movies list for 2025 is, get a drum roll a little bit. No? Okay. Fantastic Four: First Steps, coming out July 25th and directed by Matt Shakman. Forced to balance their roles as heroes with strength of their family bond, the Fantastic Four must defend Earth from a ravenous space god called Galactus and his enigmatic herald, Silver Surfer. Like I said when I was talking about Thunderbolts, MCU has been kind of in a rut lately. This movie is going to make or break the hype for Avengers Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday. The final movie before Avengers Doomsday. Will we see Doctor Doom in it? We're going to see Galactus, obviously. How cool is Silver Surfer going to be? A lot of questions for this movie. Got a solid cast here. Is Pedro Pascal a little oversaturated to y'all? I kind of feel like he is, man. He's in everything. He's in all my favorite mediums. Video game adaptations, Star Wars, obviously as The Mandalorian. Also starring Vanessa Kirby, which is kind of funny because she's most likely gonna be in our number 5 pick, Mission Impossible. She has a prominent role in those movies. When she was cast, she was announced as being cast as Sue Storm, I thought, okay, that's cool. She's good in Mission Impossible. That's my introduction to Vanessa Kirby, honestly. And then also we got Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things. Also got Eben Moss Bouchard, which I've seen him in things before, but I don't really know what he's notable for. So maybe anybody watching can let me know, can put me on to some more of his work. But yeah, Fantastic Four coming out soon. Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to more MCU always. Moving on to my number 2 most anticipated movie of summer this year. Back to the horror genre, we got 28 Years Later, directed by Danny Boyle. And the synopsis is as follows. A group of survivors of the rage virus live on a small island. When one of the group leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutated not only the infected, but other survivors. Pretty straight to the point and simple plot. 28 Days Later is probably one of the most wild zombie movies I've ever seen. I remember watching that as a kid, bro, and just that particular scene when they're like in that at that base, that military base, and that fucking rage infected zombies running around killing everybody off. I'll never forget it, man. Ultra violent movies, man, just crazy. And I hope 28 Years Later maintains that, man. We need to see the violence. All right, y'all remember the rage monkeys, the rage chimpanzees? nightmare fuel. Anyways, 28 years later comes out June 20th of this year. Looking forward to that. Can't wait. Lots of blood will be spilled. Moving on to number one, my most anticipated movie of the summer, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be number one on a lot of people's most anticipated list. It's James Gunn's Superman. Superman reconciles his heritage with his human upbringing. He is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the human way in a world that views this as old-fashioned. Interesting synopsis from IMDb. But yeah, the first trailer for this movie absolutely blew me away. The remix on the original Superman theme is pure chef's kiss, man. James Gunn and DC are really banking on this movie, man. The success of this movie determines if we're continuing James Gunn's DC universe pretty much. I know they already shot Supergirl. Supergirl's already been shot and it's coming out next year, I believe. But this movie literally makes or break if we're getting any more DC in the future. Bit of controversy around this movie from the Snyder fans, you know, Henry Cavill fans. But you know, not part of that noise, to be honest with you. I think David Cornsweet has the Superman look down. Now it's just a matter of is he an actual good Superman or Clark Kent? We saw a little bit of Clark Kent in the trailer. Liked what I saw from that. David Cornsweet, this might be a make or break moment for him too. You know, after this, we might see him in a lot more movies. So we saw him in Twisters last year when he played a fucking insensitive asshole, but you know, complete opposite role from this one. I hope this movie is successful so we can get a proper DC cinematic universe, because the last shit they were doing was not it. I don't care what anyone says, bro. No amount of director's cuts or producer's cuts is gonna change that. I also got Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. You know, that's interesting. That's gonna be pretty good. I'm looking forward to that performance as well. Nicholas Hoult is one of the most underrated actors working right now, in my opinion, and I think he's gonna knock it out the park as Lex. It seems like this Superman is taking a more old school approach. You know, it's kind of got that futuristic, like 50s, 60s setting or vibe to it. Very vibrant colors, you know. And then there's the introduction of crypto. All right, y'all, there it is. My list of most anticipated summer 2025 movies. Something different on here. Will I keep doing these? Well, maybe I'll do some movie reviews. Who knows? But like I said earlier, you can follow my letterbox, you know, where I post all my watches, obviously, and put in a little bit of reviews every now and then, you know. But hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what your most anticipated movies for the summer are. It's TheNegrolorian signing off. Hey, y'all enjoy the movies. Have a good time in the movies. Eat a lot of popcorn. Light on the butter. What's your favorite movies next? Let me know. I'm out. Enjoy these summer movies. Y'all have a good one. Oh yeah, and like and subscribe. Will you do that for me, please? But seriously, y'all have a good one. Peace.